WFXR presents Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, powered by Hardee's and by Aquarius Pools and Outdoor Living.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jermaine Farrell, hoping your day is wonderful and blessed like butter. Let's get on a roll, baby. With Week 13 of the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, we are in the VHSL Regional Semifinals. We'll have highlights from a dozen games. We kick things off in Region 5C, where the top-seeded Patrick Henry Patriots hosting the 5th-seeded Hermitage Panthers. PH trying to advance to their first regional final since 1985. And we're off to Patriot Stadium in Gaynor Field for all the action. Patrick Henry would see the scoreboard first. How about Jake Painter finding Cam? Oh, Cam. Hairston Taylor zooming his way with the short crossing pass. No one's going to catch him. 27 yards to the house. Patrick Henry goes up 7-zip. And then PH trying to extend their lead on the field goal. Snap good, hold good. Kick was blocked, though. Hermitage takes over. The Panthers, they drove 70 yards, and their drive will be capped by this 19-yard TD run by Avery Curtis. We're tied at 7. Hermitage would jump in front thanks to more problems with PH special teams. Senior defensive back Andre Clark would take the punt. Shows why he's going to play at the University of Michigan on Saturdays. Turning on the Jets, 67 yards later, he's in the house. It is 14-7 Hermitage, but back comes the Patriots. Not done, though. Starting quarterback Jake Painter hurt out of the game, but junior QB Liam Rooney finds Raheem Lippert for the 19-yard score. Extra point was no good. 14-13 Hermitage at the half. And Hermitage, they would get a last-second touchdown to knock PH out of the playoffs and from the ranks of unbeatens, 28-25. Now, Hermitage, they take on the other 5C semifinal winner, 3rd-seeded William Fleming Colonels, visiting the 2nd-seeded Highland Springs. Pick this up. Springers leading by 10. They would add to it as they would get a touchdown here as Antoine Richardson with the roll to his right finds Malik Bullock in the flats. And then going deep, Highland Springs gets another play, but the defense, no fly zone there. That was picked off. Zion Knight coming down. Colonels will show some life, though. 3rd and short, nothing special on this right. But it is Day-Day running hard, but the drive would stall. And in the end, it is Highland Springs. They would go on and they would get a big win, 37-7 over the Colonels. So the Springers will host Hermitage in the regional finals coming up next week. We're on to Region 4D, the top-seeded George Washington Eagles hosting the 4th-seeded and defending regional champs in the Sharando Warriors. The Eagles are on a hot streak themselves. They have won 10 straight games after losing their season opener. To Christopher Stadium in Danville for all the action. And one guy that we have spotlighted in the past, he was a previous Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week. How about Stanford Lipscomb? He's going to go to the house running hard for that touchdown, 7-0 GW. But then Sharando's Jalen Tasco Murray, and he's going to tie up the score with a touchdown. We're tied at 7. But then Sharando's Jacob Henry. He's going to take the rock, and he knows what to do with it. He's going to call his own number, and he's going to break free in the clear. Touchdown, Sharando. Takes a 14-7 lead, but back come the George Washington Eagles. They would soar here, courtesy of Alex Brandon. Gets in the touchdown, and GW gets the win. They will host next week's regional final with a 41-21 victory. So George Washington, they get the winner of this matchup between the 3rd-seeded Jefferson Forest Cavaliers and the 2nd-seeded John Hanley Judges. This game will take place Saturday at 1. Coming up on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz, while your regional action, Ryan Moy joins me. We take a look at games from regions 2C, 1B, 1C, and 1D. Stick and stay, please.
Now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Band of the Week.
Oh,
Captain 52, 56, 16.
And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz is back.
All right, folks, Ryan Moy is in the house. We take a deep dive into Region 2C. A lot of good football in that semifinal. But you were at Highlander Heaven, and
yes,
this was a big game people were talking about.
Yeah, that's right. The top-seeded Glenver Highlanders hosting the fourth-seeded Radford Bobcats. Radford leads the series 16-15 in playoff matchups. Radford won the only playoff meeting between the teams in the 2023 Region 2C finals at home, 29-24 in a classic. Well, I mean, it's pretty classic.
That was a classic one. And Ryan, in the regular season meeting back on October 17th, Glenver shut out Radford 35-0 at home, but Radford's playing some pretty good football. So I'm going to let you call the highlights because you were there. You should call the highlights. You were there.
It was pretty cool. To Highlander Heaven we go. Highlanders hosting the Bobcats. First quarter, though, Radford trying to get something going. Dobbins' pass, though. Look at this. It's going to be deflected and picked off by Jace Forster, who's brought down around the 10. A few plays later on fourth down, this man, Mr. PlayStation 5, Brody Doyat, back behind center.
Guess who's
he
back?
gives it to Mr. 3P, Cooper Mullins,
Shady's back.
who takes it in for the score. I know, right? They'll miss the extra point. That's 6-0 Glenver. Highlanders not done yet. Glenver up 6-3 back in the red zone. Doyat with the keeper and the TD. And they get the extra point to make it 13-3, second quarter.
Yes.
Glenver ball around the 20.
Wow. I'm
going to say his name. It's Mr. PS5. Doyat finds Cale Vaughn, who stretches out. He says, I'm going to get this. He said, mine.
Look at that. The dive. I give it a 10 on the dive.
I know. That's what I was talking about.
That's a
it
splash
makes it
play.
20-3 Highlanders. What began with defense will end with defense. Roland Hanks. That's a bad man right there. Able to come up with a fumble recovery.
Yes,
Highlanders win this one 27-3. The final, Jermaine.
Now, Ryan, Glenver will host the winner of the other Region 2C semifinal as second-seeded Gretna Hawks hosting the third seed in the Floyd County Buffaloes. A lot of points on this ball game. So Sam Phillips, a guy we talk about a lot, going to the air, hooking up with Gabe Hullett. Hauls it in.
Just like that.
And it's 7-0 Floyd. But Gretna, you know, they can get it going offense. How about Rayshawn Logan going to keep it himself? Dives over the pile for the touchdown. 7-6 Floyd. But the Hawks, they win a tight one. A lot of points in this ball game. A total of 111 points, 56-55. So Gretna, they will visit Glenver next week in the regional finals. Now, Ryan Moy, we are on to the Class 1 ranks.
Yes, sir.
We have tonight 6 local teams in the mix still for a state title.
Well, we start off in the Region 1B semifinals where the top-seeded Alta Vista Colonels hosting the fifth-seeded Buffalo Gap Bison. Alta Vista won the only meeting.
The only one.
that was in last year's Region 1B finals at home. That was 32-20, Jermaine.
That was a tight one, so I'm going to let you call these.
Let's check it out.
I think you should call them.
I
Yes.
know. So
you have a voice. Use it.
For this semifinals. Colonel's opening drive would stall inside the 10, so they settle for a Tristan Bennett 26-yard field goal. That's 3-0 Alta Vista. But second drive, AV looking for more points, but on fourth down, Christian Garvin, well, he gets stuffed. Refs eventually ruled this a turnover on downs.
Ouch.
So the Bison, well, they take over. And 3 plays later, there goes Jaden Humphrey, 59 yards, and you can kiss him goodbye. I'll kiss that goodbye. Look at that. Buffalo Gap takes a 7-3 lead on the board. Buffalo Gap driving again before half, and it's Isaac Goff. I don't know if there's a relation there to a certain Lion, but punches it in from a yard and a half out. That plus a 2-point conversion make it 15-3.
I'm going on a limb. I don't think they're related.
I know, I don't think so. But Bison come into Alta Vista and hang half 152-29. They advance. While Buffalo Gap gets the winner of the third-seeded Riverheads Gladiators and the second-seeded Sussex Central Tigers. Say that twice as fast. Riverheads wins over Sussex Central 29-12. Well, we go to the Region 1C semifinals as the fifth-seeded George Wythe Maroons will visiting the top-seeded Giles Spartans. Wythe leads the series 24-20 in the playoff meetings, though George Wythe leads 4-2. Last year in the Region 1C first round, the Maroons won at home 48-6, Jermaine.
Now, Ryan, these two teams met in the regular season finale a couple of weeks ago. Giles winning big, 53-20. Now, this makes the third straight week the Maroons are in Giles County. They might be paying property taxes. They're the way to go there.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, let's go to Ragsdale Field in Pearisburg. The Bandana Express rolling here. Pick things up. It's 8-7 Giles. George with the ball, and Cade Brawley He's going to keep it himself, takes it in for the score. It's 14-8 George Wythe, and after that it was all Maroons because they're going to air it out. Isaac Smith hooking up with Jameer Rivens.
Oh, my
80-yard play, and
goodness.
he's not going to be denied running for glory. It was 21-8 George Wythe, but more Maroons, they go to the ground, and they're known for that. How about Kane Gollier? He's going to get it in for the touchdown in the end zone. 27-8 there, and George Wythe, they get payback on Giles. They are in the regional finals. They win this one 27-8.
Well, George Wythe visits the winner of the other Region 1C semifinals as the second seed of Craig County Rockets hosting the third seed and defending regional champs in the Grayson County Blue Devils. 2 minutes in first quarter, Jerry Smith with a 54-yard run.
Nice.
That's 6-0 Rockets.
I think the official tried to run with him, but that wasn't going to happen. Oh, actually, he hung in there.
That's pretty impressive. 3:30 to go in the first. Grayson in scoring position. Maverick Goad.
We talk about him a lot.
Player of the year.
That's right.
Decides to run it in himself, tying it at 6. 8.5 to go in the second quarter. Goad hands it off to Parker Dowell.
Wow.
Well, it's a 40-yard run. Everybody just running all over the place straight to put the Blue Devils in scoring position.
That's right.
Grayson knocking on Craig County's door. Goad, Dowell,
Come in, knock on my
again,
door.
plows through. Look at that.
I went
all the
Three's
way into
Company
the
on
zone.
you just
It's
now.
now 14-6 Blue Devils. 4:30-11 in the half. Dowell with the ball again. And look at that, in the zone again. That's 21-6 Blue Devils. Grayson County, well, they end Craig County's magical season with a 34-13 win. The Blue Devils will host the Maroons in the regional final next
Grayson
week.
County starting to get hot
my
again.
goodness.
They are. Now
Coach
in
James.
the Region
Coach
1B
James.
semifinals, 4th-seeded Hoonacre visiting the top seed East Side and Fair East Side, 46-16. And then on Saturday at 1, the 2nd-seeded Chilhowie Warriors, they host the 3rd seed in Rye Cove. We're coming up on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz with all of your playoff action. We have Miriam Chamberlain in Daleville this evening for our Game of the Week from the Region 3D semifinals. Lord Bottot hosting William Byrd. This and more next on the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz.
Yes, sir.
And now, WFXR Sports presents Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week.
Well, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week takes us to Daleville for a Region 3D semifinal matchup between the 3rd seed in William Byrd and the 2nd seed in Lord Bottot. Now, Byrd leads this series all time, 41-25-1, but in playoff matchups, Byrd a perfect 3-0 against LB. Terriers won the regular season meeting back on October 25th at home, 42-41. This is the 3rd straight season the teams will meet in the playoffs. Now, last year, LB lost to Bird in the regional final in double overtime, 46-44. And the Terriers, they've won 4 of the last 5 meetings. A lot on the line. Team trying to make it to the regional final and practice on the week of Thanksgiving. It was scoreless in the first, so we're just going to hop to the second quarter. And you see it's Quentin Jones. Quentin Jones, look at that cut. The bigger the cut, the bigger the rhyme. Takes it down the left sideline, stays in bounds, touchdown, 7-0 Cavs. And then QJ, Mr. Jones again. This time, 76 yards on the left side. To the left, to the left, to the right, to the right. But the left there, 14-0 Cavs, but Bird would come back. Jamez, for whom the bell, Tolars in the middle for the touchdown. 14-7, Lord Bata. Under 30 seconds till the half. Rigney goes to the air, hooks up with guess who? Quentin Jones. 0 on the program, but number 1 in everyone's heart in Daleville. Touchdown right there. Lord Bata at the regional finals for the second straight season with a 35-21 win over William Byrd. Miriam Chamberlain has more in the game from Daleville.
Both teams entered tonight's matchup not knowing the outcome, but they did know one thing. Only one will be crowned victorious. And tonight, Lord Botetourt topped William Byrd 35-21. That's that final score. LB is moving on to the next round.
If you start with momentum, you finish. I mean, it helps you a ton because it's hard when you get behind, you got that weight on your back, and it's hard to get that weight off your back through the whole game. We cleaned up a lot of the things that we didn't do a good job last time.
Got a chip on our shoulder from last year, stupid mistakes, got our heads right this week. We had an amazing whole month of practice. Everything went right. We just put it back on the field. It's effort. I told the linemen I'd get them all Big Macs if we win, so I think that's kind of got them going.
It's an execution thing, and, we had some execution mistakes. They had some. We ended up on top. Just got to keep doing the things that we did this past week. It's a great week of practice. I told them if they executed that they would win, and they did.
He tells nothing but the truth, and he tells us every day in practice. We're a team that can go as far as we want to go, But it's just everything. I know I talk about the head a lot, but it's everything in the head, You got to fix your mistakes and do what you got to do. We all got the talent for it.
LB has the tools to execute as they did tonight against William Byrd. Let's see if they can do that against Magna Vista in the regional finals. Well, here in Daleville, I'm Miriam Chamberlain, WFXR Sports. Jermaine, back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Miriam. So we already know who's going to match up. Lord Botetourt is the winner of the Region 3D semifinal. Magna Vista hosting Carroll County. This was a pretty cool game. Isaiah Easter, like the holiday.
Oh, my goodness.
Hoppity hop down the lane. That boy gone. Touchdown. 99 on the jersey. Yes. 7-0 Ryan Carroll. Then Simeon Moore hooks up with Tyler Martin, and he's going to go off to the races. That's going to be a touchdown. We are tied at 7. And then Simeon Moore is going to hand off to Ethan. Put up your Dukes. Running to the outside with the green gloves. Nearly ran over Kyler Parr, but he's safe. 14-7. And then how about Carroll County get back? How about Aiden Dickerson with that touchdown? 15-14. Magna Vista advanced to the regional final. And as Miriam said, they will host Lord Botetourt next week. They beat Carroll County 64-28. Well, meanwhile, we move on to the Region 3C semifinals over at City Stadium in Lynchburg. The top seed, Heritage Pioneers, hosting the 4th seed in the Turner-Ashby Knights. Now, Turner-Ashby won the only meeting between the teams. That was in the 2023 Region 3C first round at the crib, 26-14. Heritage, they're on a winning streak as well, 10 straight after losing their opener. We pick up things midway through the third. Heritage is up 14-7. But the offense is about to arrive. After a turnover on downs, Aiden Slash is going to hook up with Jaden Miller. And it was his time to shine. 77 yards in stride, Mr. Moy. Touchdown there. Heritage up 21-7.
Wow.
But Turner-Ashby not giving up, though. Ethan Farish, he's going to take the handoff, and he is going to get, they're having a party, a meeting in the end zone.
I understand.
But anyway,
they should be.
Turner-Ashby with a little party of themselves. But they're going to run to the outside, and they cut the lead there to 21-14. But the Pioneers, they wasted no time after that. Zayed Holloway is going to cap a one-play drive with this little play here to the outside. And Heritage, they advance to the regional final. They get the win, 35-14 over Turner-Ashby. Heritage gets the winner of the other 3C semifinal, the two-time defending champs, 16 LCA, as they're facing Wilson Memorial, the Green Hornets. And then LCA, they're going to get one in right there with 15 seconds left in the half, 7-3, courtesy of Mason Gunn. Then the Green Hornets starting to get some ball going. They had a long drive, but look at the defense here by LCA. Stop them on downs. Then Silas Nesselroth. He's going to get one in to the touchdown that made it 15-7 after the 2-point conversion. And then defense would be the offense for LCA. Nesselroth with another one. LCA back in the regional finals. They win over Wilson Memorial 22-3. So it'll be a rematch between the Bulldogs and Heritage at City Stadium for the regional title next week.
And now, WFXR presents Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Player of the Week.
Well, this week's athlete is simply a human highlight reel. Not only did he put up 4 touchdowns, but he and his team captured their 3rd VISAA Division II title in 4 years to make it 7 in total in his squad's 54-22 state championship win over St. Anne's last Saturday. Well, he's received this honor before. He's back as your Player of the Week.
Jazo Hart, athlete, North Cross. Once again, blessed to be able to be out there with them guys, you know, make it healthy through a season. Like, that was my biggest thing, and we made it. Like, just to be able to accomplish another goal that we set is a big achievement for us, you know. We put all the work in, we faced all the adversity, beat all the challenge that was put in front of us, and to make it there, you know, have another state title to our name, kind of feels legendary. I remember being behind Ian Can and thinking that I would never, you know, get to play how I did again, always getting the ball, this and that. But being able to have somebody to look up to helps you a lot. Like, it really do. Being able to, you know, follow in somebody else, I would say footsteps, being able to just watch somebody work and know that that's where you want to be. Like, have that every single day. And that pushes you to, I want to be the best. And that was my mindset coming off of that freshman year. Like, I want to be the best player in the state of Virginia. So, and possibly nation. So we just kept on working, kept to it, and we're here now. Now that I put my footprint through North Cross's athletics, I'll be remembered forever. You know, being able to hold that trophy meant everything, especially seeing that it was a new one, not the same one we kept winning. Being able to see a new trophy, that felt great. Knowing that it was something that nobody else has touched and have achieved yet. So, like, that showed all the hard work, dignity, the adversity, the challenges we faced throughout the years, everything. Even from last year, that showed a lot, especially being able to get that one for Coach Priest, Coach Roof, Bennett, Kai, all of them. Like, it meant everything.
And now, Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Aquarius Pools Splash Play of the Week. Sponsored by Aquarius Pools and Outdoor Living.
All right, a splashy play here for George with Isaac Smith to Jameer Rivens. 80 yards later, that boy gone. As George with Ryan, they roll, and they're in the state semifinal. That's going to be a pretty cool matchup next week, George with in Grayson County. But we had some other great matchups as well.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. LCA Heritage.
I tell you. And then you got Glenver and Gretna.
I know.
You got Magna Vista and Lord Bottot. So good stuff. So that does it for this edition. Hardee's Friday Night Blitz. You missed anything, check it on WFXRTV.com. For myself, Ryan, Miriam, and whole crew, thank you so much. VHSL Regional Finals next week.